There are new recommendations for women living in Zika-affected areas. And can painkillers actually prolong your pain? Brooke Silver-Braga takes a look at some of this week's top health stories.
Researchers at the University of Colorado found narcotic painkillers may actually prolong pain. Testing on lab rats suggests the recent rise in opioid prescriptions for people may be making chronic pain worse and longer lasting. The UN Health Agency says sexual transmission of Zika is more common than first thought. It's now telling women who have been in Zika-prone areas to wait at least 8 weeks before trying to conceive to ensure the virus has cleared their bodies. The previous recommendation was 4 weeks. For the first time, the U.S. government is making recommendations to limit salt in processed foods like deli meats, bread, and canned soup. The average American eats about 3,400 milligrams of salt a day. The new FDA recommendations aim to bring daily sodium intake down a third to 2,300 milligrams. The CDC estimates reducing sodium intake by just 400 milligrams a day could prevent 32,000 heart attacks and 20,000 strokes a year. Those are some of the week's top health stories. Brooke Silva-Braga for CBS News, New York.
Well, one state in northeastern Brazil has now developed a test that detects the Zika virus in as quick as 20 minutes. This is the first test to rapidly detect the disease. Until now, patients who suspected that they might have the virus had to wait at least 3 weeks to get results back. The Brazilian Health Surveillance Agency has just approved the test to be produced and sold in the country. The news comes just after a second baby in the United States was born with the Zika-related birth defects, and this week in New Jersey. That first baby was born in Hawaii. And researchers in Australia worked with 43 sets of parents who complained that their children had problems sleeping. 1/3 were taught to let their children cry themselves to sleep. Another third were asked to try a newer type of sleep training called bedtime fading. And parents put their infants to bed closer to time he or she usually fell asleep and could stay in the room until the child dozed off. The last group did not receive any sleep training. The Cry It Out group showed the greatest improvements in sleep times. And fewer American girls are becoming teen moms, apparently. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention conducted a new study. It found about 230,000 girls ages 15 to 19 gave birth in 2015. That's an 8% decrease from the year 2014. The birth rate in that age group has been falling sharply since 2007. At the same time, the CDC says birth rates are up among women in their 30s and 40s. Well, coming up, we're going to take a look at just how much that late bill or maxed out credit card is hurting your credit score. We check in with financial expert Stacy Johnson next on News Channel 11 and ABC Tri-Cities This Morning. Plus, we'll take a look at your weekend forecast. That's coming up right after the break. Stay with us.